So if you paid attention to that last live I just did this a few minutes ago, or whatever the case may be, you heard this young gentleman come on and talk about he was a side artist in Saudi and blah 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 blah, right? Which is it was quite hilarious because I know signed artists or whatever the case may be. So I wanted to look around and see what I saw, or whatever, whatever. That brought me to this. See, that gentleman, he mentioned something in there. He said something that was specific that only he would know because I've never mentioned my age on here. You understand what I'm saying? I've never mentioned my age on here. This is why I said you gotta watch who you talking to online, because a lot of times these guys that are online, many of times, these are people that know you and they coming in with fake accounts and shit like that. I've never mentioned my age online. Not even on my birthday did I mention my age. All right? Now, I'm not afraid of my age. I'm not embarrassed by my age. I'm a fresh, still young man. I ain't got no kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm still out here. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will be jealous of that. See, I know a lot of guys that had kids. I'm speaking about guys now. I know a lot of guys that had kids when they were like 12, 13, 14 years old, right? In middle school, shit like that. And so now they're 32, 33, 34, 35 years old. They got kids, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But me, myself, and I can say at least 8 of the guys that I used to work with in the entertainment industry, they don't have kids. I want to say that again. They don't have kids. Now, one of the other things I do is I've never really had a lot of stress factors in my life or whatever, except for the previous situation I went in, and that was because of the pandemic and some financial situations I had with my ex-girlfriend and everything like that, her moving out, departure, blah, 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 which caused me to end up in a homeless situation. It wasn't by my means. Both places that I lived at previously, including the condominium complex, or 2 different condominium complexes, I stayed there for a culmination of maybe like 8, 6, 7 years, which made it very easy for me to move in. I have a good credit history or whatever. If anything, I am the creme de la creme. You understand? And I like to toot my own horn at that sometimes because I know guys that are my age or near my age that have a shitload of kids by different women. They run around and they have, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of different illegitimate children and stuff like that or whatever. And what I find a lot of times is you get more judged if you're a guy like me that doesn't have kids, doesn't have a family, lives by himself, not living off the back of some woman or something like that or whatever the case may be. We get judged more than anybody. If not a dude acting like a woman. Y'all hot like on the way. That's right. Listen, let me tell you what I mean by that. The person tried to come in here, they said, nigga, you all old, you 40 something, and he called me unk and all that shit. Nigga, listen, first of all, most of the women, my ex-girlfriend was younger than me by like, I think like 11 years or whatever the case may be. I've had other girlfriends and other girls that are attracted to me, especially now, that are usually younger than me. You understand what I'm saying? Most of the girls that I come into contact with, one of the first things they'll always say usually is, you don't look the age you just told me. And I'm like, yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? Now, many of y'all may not know this, ladies, but I gotta tell you, most of the time when you get guys out here and they're in the same staple that I'm in, where they don't have any kids, they don't have a wife, I've never been married, I'm not in debt with anybody, I don't owe anybody any money or whatever the case may be, what you'll have is you'll have people come in and try to shame you because of that, all right? Now, I know what I look like, you understand what I'm saying? I know I'm a fairly decent looking guy, I would think. I try to be nice to everybody. I really do. I mean, even in my personal life. But what happens is sometimes you can be up around people and they don't like you. You understand what I'm saying? Which is the point of this. And they can not like you because of a myriad of different reasons. Sometimes people don't like me. And I'm just going to explain myself. Sometimes people don't like me because they feel like I'm a little bit too cocky. I'm sorry, I grew up with my dad. My dad taught us how to have a lot of fucking self-esteem. So that's a problem for some people. Maybe you've never had that experience. The second thing is people don't like is formerly the way I used to dress. I used to dress very, very like, I would have the simplest of clothes, but I would make them look very, very unsimple, if you want to put it that way. And so that was one thing that I always got flack for. Another flag was the ease that I have in talking to people. I am a generally good person, I believe. I don't want to tote my own home because it kind of sounds silly when people say, I'm a good person. You define it by your own self. Who's not going to say they're a good person, right? But I try to be, I guess you could say, I try to be as helpful and as nice to people as I possibly can. And what I find is a lot of times when you're interacting with Black and Latin people, it doesn't translate like that. It translates into, oh, he up to something. Oh, he trying to do something to somebody. And then I heard this guy say, oh, he hustling the internet. My G, I've been on here for a long time. And when I started this, trust me, it wasn't about getting no donations. It wasn't none of that. And most of the people that donate to me, they donate to me because they know my rise, they know where they want to see me go or whatever. In a minute, in a very short minute, this channel will have over 100,000 people, if not more, attended to it, all right? I know something that a lot of other people don't know. Once you hit that 10K mark and you get past 10K and you start moving on to about 15K, yeah, that part right there. Or they think because you're nice, you're weak. Exactly. That part right there. And that's the part that I don't like. And I know a lot of you Blacks and Latins out there, y'all run into the same problem. Because you're nice, people mistake that with you being weak. And that's why I brought up the premise of what I brought up earlier. And I was talking about what I was talking about because I was nice to those people when I approached them, you know. And I've had this problem happen many of times. Sometimes these same Black and Latin people can be just jealous of you because of the position you're in. And I'm saying this and I'm extending this to other Black and Latin people as well, male and female. I don't want to get that messed up. Women run into the same thing because women run into the workplace where they have other women that will attack them or whatever based off race, gender, or otherwise how they look or anything else. And that's scary. Miss Chocolate says, yes, that happens to me all the time. Miss Chocolate, please, if you can, summarize what happens to you in the comment section. I want to read that out loud. Hey guys, if you like, make sure you donate to $STRINGERBELL80. We all have choices in life. I have spoken on here before about how I ended up in the music industry. And it doesn't matter what my capacity was in the music industry. The experiences, the people I've met, the people I interact with, the things that I've done cannot be unilaterally explained by one person. And that's what we have a lot of too here in the Black and Latin community, where you have one person that wants to give a directive, that wants to give an explanation of what your life has been like. That, imagine me coming into somebody that I've never met before, and I base everything that that person is based off of what somebody else said. Not knowing what that person that told me about said person, how they may feel about them previously, how they may whatever about them previously, whatever the case may be. I have 3 or 4 places that I frequent, you know, and I frequent these places when I just want to get outside of my norm. I live by myself, so, you know, it gets lonely sometimes. You can only play so many videos. You can only upload so many videos. You can only edit so much or whatever the case may be. And sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I'm tired of editing, I'm tired of talking online. And sometimes I'll get up and just take a walk, you know? And sometimes I'll take a walk, and sometimes I'll go downtown, sometimes I'll hop on the train and go to New York, and just sometimes literally I'll walk around and just breathe in the air, practice singing, whatever the case may be. That's what I did yesterday. I was practicing singing. I went down to Brooklyn, checked my man about some beats or whatever the case may be or whatever. I'm not a rapper anymore, I'm a singer. And so, I was doing that in preparation for something that was getting ready to come up during the week or whatever, where I get the chance to sing in front of crowds. And I want to thank the gentleman that gives me the opportunity to do that at his establishment. I want to give a big shout out to him. I think he's a very nice man. I think he's a very cool man. You know what I mean? That lets me come in there and patronize his business as well as also sing in his business or whatever the case may be. And if you're ever in Stanford, I'm going to direct y'all to the business so y'all can go down there and spend some money with this gentleman in his establishment. He is one of the very few Black establishments here that I've seen out of maybe 3 or 4 that actually has a consistent flow and consistent customers. He has some good bartenders. And I don't mean good meaning like they make good drinks or something like that, meaning that the guys are good. It's 2 girls and a guy. I mean, excuse me, 1 girl and 2 guys. And they do a phenomenal job down there. The staff is good. I mean, it's just a good environment, period, you know? So if you're ever in Stanford, Connecticut, holla at me. I'm going to direct you to go down there. I ain't going to say the shit online or whatever, because ain't nobody paying me for shit. But make sure you go down there and check them out at their establishment. When you hear this rap with me, I send you down there. I'm gonna make this quick because I'm hungry. I set up this page initially just to tell my story of what was going on at the time and how I felt at the time. It went viral. A lot of people think that I'm just now getting the views that I'm getting right now based on just getting the views that I'm getting right now. No. I had views that were doing 300,000, 400,000 before that. For example, if I see someone in need and try to help and think they can say anything, they think they can say anything to me or think they can go for anything because I came across as a good, genuine person. I'm very street smart, so no go. Bam, that part right there. Did you hear what Miss Chocolate Divine said? She said, for example, if I see someone in need and try to help them, they think that they can say anything to me or think I'll go for anything because I came across as a good, genuine person. I'm very street smart, so I've adapted to it and I see it and I move away from it. That's me. When I see that bullshit right there happen, I move the fuck away from it as quick as I can. And that's happened to me before too. I have a similar story what you're talking about, and I can even give you a better example. There was a video that was out that went viral not too long ago, and there was a gentleman, and it was in the dead of winter, and he was sleeping in Times Square. It was a black gentleman. He was sleeping in Times Square. And this man that was Latin went and put a coat on top of him. He took the coat off his back and put it on this man, right? And when he did that, the man, it since jumps up out of nowhere, and once he does that, he attempts to assault this man for putting a jacket on. Very much of an example of trying to be nice to somebody of color and it backfires on him. I personally believe that a lot of people of color, black men and black women alike, and Latin women and Latin men alike, for some reason or another, feel the need that they can be over possessive, overly passive, overly aggressive, etc., etc. Only specifically, exclusively, only to their own. And I'm sorry, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense that I can't go get a cup of coffee. It doesn't make sense that I can't go to the grocery store. It doesn't make sense that the same type of oppression that you say is put on you by white folks, that you now want to invoke and put on your own people. So when I talk about the accomplished versus the haters, what I mean is that gentleman that you just saw in my last video, he said all kinds of things about me, and it seemed like to me like he felt like he knew me personally. You know what I'm saying? And that's the scary part about it. That means that there's somebody that's on my page. There's somebody hovering around my page. There's someone hovering around my page that has frequently been on my page and they're just watching. You understand what I'm saying? They're just watching. Now, one of the things that gentleman gave away when he said he was signed to Sony Records, you made about 4 people come up in my head. 4 people. I'm born, hold on one second, I want to read her comment. She says, I'm born and raised in the hood and the projects, but I don't act good because I'm not. They just see young looking face and young voice. They think I'm about to get over. Nope, I'm 43 from the hood. Nope. I got you. And most people that are 40 years old don't look like grandpas and grandmas. I don't know. And it goes a testament to, once again, that's why I brought at the beginning of this. There's a lot of people out there that had kids at 12 or 13 or 14 years old, and they truthfully believe in the back of their mind that it is normal to be a grandmother at 32, 33, 34, 35 years old. And in fact, if you're not a grandmother or grandfather at 32, 33, 34, 35 years old, there's something is wrong with you. Now, I say, no, there's nothing wrong with you. Do you know the average white person? You know, we have these discussions about how white birth rates are declining, right? And the white population is declining. You know the real reason behind it? It's a financial choice. You see, many of white people have gone accustomed to the climate. And we notice that it's harder to exist out here. You know, grocery prices are sky high. Matter of fact, guys, make sure you donate $STRINGERBELL 80. This is how I make a living. This is how I move around. There's also a Cash App, and that's $STRINGERBELL 80. There's a GoFundMe and there's a PayPal link in the description box. You will find the description box right under the title in this video. Hop on, donate something, come back and join the conversation. I'm gonna go here for about an hour, because it's gonna take me about an hour to screen this out or whatever, and then I'm gonna get to going. But it was drizzling for a minute, then it stops. I said, well, let me start this over, because I wasn't finished with the last one. I just wanted to get that person out of the way out of here. So make sure you donate $STRINGERBELL80. White people are waiting longer to have children. The average white woman, if you look at the demographics of where she waits to have a child, is usually around in her 30s. She's usually waiting prior to where she has a career started, etc., etc., etc. What we find with many Latin and black women is that is not the case. Even though one thing that's left out of the equation is 66% of black households are raised with two parents. 66%. That's why I kind of skewed on the number when they say 72% of black women are single parents. And somewhere around 61% of Latin women are single parents. You didn't know that, did you? 61% of Latin women are single parents, meaning they have a child out of wedlock living with them. Now, with those numbers said there's also another demographic of white women, which is around about 33% of them that are single mothers here nationally. The reason the numbers are a little bit more skewed because they have 62% of the population in total. I hope you understand what I just said. When you break down two-parent household, that leaves them with about 70% of their households are two-parent household systems. Now, the normalcy that a lot of people, and I believe this very wholeheartedly, a lot of times people take trauma and they normalize their trauma. Do you know what I mean by they normalize their trauma? Meaning they come accustomed to the trauma they are in. You can even tell the trauma that is invoked through them when they do certain types of gestures, certain types of disgust, or whatever, when they're passing with you, when they're interacting with you, or whatever the case may be. It's almost an automatic challenge because you're black, they're black, or whatever the case may be, right? And I consider myself black, even though I'm half Cuban. I consider myself black, also negrito, all right? I'm never gonna let that go. This is the problem. With all these facilities that are put about in society where people, for some reason or another, have this challenge between black and Latin society in a whole within the diagram of within the consistency of the society itself, the cultures, the two cultures, and their frequency, and this is shown throughout the news all the time. You always hear about some black kid shooting another black kid. You saw an example of that kid that just came in my post threatening me and all kinds of other shit, saying I'm not scared. But and he was appalled when I kept on referring to him as sir. He didn't understand what I was trying to do there, bud. I was trying to quell what was going on. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's not good for my audience. And I'm not going to do that, especially with a man that has not donated. You got more time and what's the name on my page than you ever have in total. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. I have no problems with my age. That's for one. You'll never hear me lie about my age when asked. I'm gonna read your comment, Miss Chocolate. Make sure you donate to the Cash App too. $STRINGERBELL80. Show some support and love here. That gentleman was trying to hit me with language points and sound bites of insulting. And what I mean by that is this. He felt that the little kid, 5th grader shit that he was saying to me was somehow going to affect my consciousness, was somehow going to get me off the tone. And what he couldn't understand was, sir, I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you. Because what you haven't realized yet is, you had to come to my platform to talk. And you're not deterring any of my followers. Nobody's going anywhere. Any of you guys leaving me? Any of you guys leaving? I want to hear what Miss Chocolate Divine had to say. That's not normal. When they say that you're 43, no kids, what's wrong with you? See, she's in the same boat. There are a lot of us out here. You know what the problem is? A lot of us out here that are 35 and over, what happens is because of the normalcy of childbirth rates and them being with one single parent or whatever, and the frequency of it in the conversations, what happens is it becomes normal. And so now if you're 35 plus and you don't have kids, well, why not? Wasn't you goofing around and fucking around and doing all kinds of stupid shit like we were when you were 13, 14 years old? When you sneaking out your house, when you sleeping with people and already having sex at 13, 14 like we were? Why not? Because I wasn't raised in a household that did shit like that. I wasn't raised in an environment that was conducive of having things like that happen. Now, I say all the time, I didn't grow up in the projects. I didn't grow up in the hood neither. And the way and the experiences that many of us have had are different. They're very different. Now, later on in life, I started hanging out with guys that were in the streets and everything like that. But I did that electively, meaning I voluntarily went out and hung with these people because I don't know what happened. Youth has a lot to do with it or whatever the case may be. But when I get somebody that's 20, 30 years old, I'm assuming, that comes in and they say things like that or whatever, it's so laughable. Because I'm like, homie, first of all, everybody got a birthday. And if I did an equation of what you were doing, what you're doing now in your 20s and 30s versus what I was doing in my 20s, I was traveling around the country. The first time I ever hit Florida, it was on my 21st birthday. After that, subsequently, each year I went to a different state or multiple different states. So we've had different experiences. I didn't grow up in the ghetto. I don't demolish the ghetto. I don't hold the ghetto as fucking staple it. Because if you know anything about the ghetto was a place, actually the word ghetto itself comes from a settlement that they had the Jews living in Italy. They called that section the ghetto. And black people and Latin people have not only embraced it, they embraced the violence with it, they embraced the discord with it, they embraced everything with it. But most importantly, what they embraced is, they embraced all the tenets that are used to oppress you in society. You think it's a badge and an honor to be a grandma or grandpa at 32, 34 years old. It's not normal. You think it's not normal to not have kids if you're 35 over. But if you go into any collegiate environment, if you go into any area, like my area, for example, or even just minutes away from this area, what you will find is that it's not normal. Now, I've lived in Connecticut most of all my damn life. And I've lived in sections that have had women that have had tons of illegitimate kids. And I've lived in areas with sections where that's not normal. So I know the difference. And the normalizing of this bullshit of having kids when you're young. Do you know the teen pregnancy is up again? And the most high rated, I think they said the most teen pregnancy right now in the United States is coming out of Alabama. That's not normal. Then they say you're 43 with no kids. What's wrong with you? I see it as nothing wrong with me. I never wanted a bunch of kids running around. They think no kids, you're single, and you've got plenty. Normalizing not having babies, daddy, toxic, abusive relationships, and plain bullshit. That's another thing, the toxic relationships. I'm not with that shit. There was this girl, right? And she had to be like, I'm gonna say she had to be like 26, 27, somewhere around there, right? Definitely within my age range of dating, all right? Most of the time, smart women, they don't want a young, how you go by? Most of the time, smart women, they don't want a younger guy or a guy that's their age anyway, because the guy doesn't have shit. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you got some cute sneakers, you got a cute little outfit, a little bullshit job, making $15 an hour. You cannot survive on $15 a fucking hour, first of all, especially here where I live at. If you think you can survive on $15 an hour, I will challenge you and tell you 2 jobs at $15 an hour equating to $30 an hour still won't get you in the books in here. It won't get you in a place in most states in the country at $30 an hour. So with that being said, or whatever, imagine you tagging on 2 or 3 kids along with that. Yes, I've also donated to you before. Okay, well, thank you. Make sure you donate again, sister. Please. Nope. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20 years old with my own apartment. I have lived by myself literally since I was 17 years old. It started out first. I moved in with my cousin Carlisle and my other cousin Mario. And my uncle had paid for us to get the place or whatever. So we moved in there like that at first. And then the second time after that, I moved into my first place with my ex-girlfriend. We moved in together. So that technically was both of our places. We stayed there only a year. And then that's when shortly after that, I went and got my first official apartment on my own, and I had to be 20 years old. Ever since then, I've always lived by myself. I've had women living with me, including my ex that lived with me. Mostly all of my exes, except for 2, have lived with me. You understand what I'm saying? So I've had a lot of different women that have lived with me. Angela Harris, what you talking about with the question mark? What we talking about? Just pay attention, you'll get it. The point I'm getting at is this. If you turn those tables around and put them into modern day, you don't see that. What you see is a whole bunch of guys and they're living with the girlfriends. That's the point I brought up. They're living with the girlfriends. But they turn around and want to wear this badge of honor like they're a real man. You understand what I'm saying? No, you're not a real man. And don't put on the cord of what happened to me previously and put that into a culmination of my whole entire life. Did you not hear me? The reason it was so easy for me to move into the place that I moved into was because, one, they had to check my credit score. I've had loans before that I paid back. So my loans and that credit history are good. The second thing is I've had a good rental history, an extravagant rental history, including one place which I was opting to buy and the deal fell through. I was going to buy the old condo that I lived in. He wanted to sell it for $125,000 at the time because he was trying to get out. And someone else beat me to the punch as far as the bidding is concerned. Now I can get Chip Mundell, which is his name, and he will attest to that same thing. We were in negotiations and everything. Bank information was entered in, like the whole nine. I was going to buy the place. This is why now, to this day, my accompaniment goal, and people don't see my real, if you want to talk about hustle, my real hustle is to save enough money in the situation I'm in right now, to save money. Every month, I put towards at least $25 to $30 into stocks. You understand what I'm saying? It means every time that I get an extra 20 something dollars or whatever, TMH Global sent me an extra $50. I took $20 of that and I put it into separate stocks. I bought AOO and a couple other ones, but that I hadn't had. So that brings my stock ownership to like 46 or something like that, different companies on my portfolio. You'll have people that have never done this, never been successful as this, even as you, the people that are sitting here listening to me. You have somebody around you right now that is black or Latin, that doesn't like the fact, or seemingly doesn't like the fact of you or the thought of you, because what they perceptionally see of you, or what they think of you, or what someone has told them about you. A lot of people will purposely put out a false rumor about you, or purposely make you degrade you in society, or whatever the case may be, because they want to make themselves look big. Two, they want to make themselves feel good. Three, they just feel it's the thing because they have some inward resentment towards you. I have went through this my whole entire life. My sisters have went through this whole entire life. My one sister had a chick put bubble gum in her hair. You understand what I'm saying? And chewed it up first and then put it in her hair with a piece of paper so it would be even harder to get out. So she took the gum, spit it in a piece of paper, and then she clipped it to my sister's hair. And my sister had to cut it out. I'm sorry, what? Here goes one of those troublemakers right here. She says, you keep calling Miss Chocolate Divine so she can feel good and give you money. Fuck out of here. Don't fall for his foolery. Ma'am, you don't even know me. Second thing is this. I didn't say anything rude or obnoxious or anything to you. I've never said anything in the past. I recognize your name. I've never said anything. In fact, previously when I've had conversations or interactions with you, if I remember correctly, they've been pretty positive. I don't know where that came from right there when you said you keep calling Miss Chocolate. I keep calling Miss Chocolate Divine because she's going along with the correlation of the conversation. I think you're one of these people that I'm talking about too, where they're so used to black and Latin people tricking them, getting over on them, doing something to them when somebody nicely comes into the conversation or somebody comes in or whatever the case may be. You have, even Miss Chocolate is confused. She's like, huh, what happened, Miss Chocolate? What did I do? She's upset that by showing up, she's upset for whatever reason or another or whatever. So this is what they do. They will basically run around and they will tell you, I've had this happen before. They go around, and I'm glad you wrote that, Angela. I want you to stay here, okay? Because you're going to prove another point of mine. What they'll do is, and this is what I mean by the hater shit that goes on here, they will go separately. I had somebody separately go into my comment section. I've had this happen like 3 or 4 times now. They'll go in my comment section and tell people, don't donate to me. And I'm like, why would you tell somebody not to donate to me? Imagine I went to your job and I told the people at your job, don't pay her. Don't pay her. Or imagine I went to your job and I told the people, don't mess with her. She's a crook, or she's this, or she's that. This is what black and Latin people do on a daily basis. I can't make this stuff up. So I'm not going to block Angela because I thought Angela was a friend. I thought Angela was cool to this channel. I guess not. I'm sorry to hear that, Angela Harris. I'm sorry that you feel that way. I am sorry that you feel that way. But I guess now your objective is to be the staple and the overseer. You the overseer, Angela? You adapted to now being the overseer. So now you've taken on the precautions and you've taken on the notoriety of the slave master now. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Somebody got a coon, right? Somebody got a coon. I like, subscribe, and going to check it out. No problem. Freshly Bram. Freshly Bram said, I don't have nothing to do with Angela Harris coming in here or whatever. I don't need him to make me feel good, baby. I don't know him. I feel good. Exactly. Miss Chocolate Divine said it better than I could. She didn't even know me personally. Angela Harris doesn't know me personally either, but I thought she was a friend to the channel. I guess not. You know? I guess not. No, that's okay. It is what it is. Anyway, long story short, Freshly Brim, I'm glad you joined us back here. Angela Harris, I wish you well too, but I can't. After your statement you read, after the statement you wrote, and you said I was reading statements because I was looking for donations. Well, clearly you wasn't donating to me, and I read your statement. you gotta make sense of that. I read everybody's statement here when it makes sense and it correlates to around the conversation. This is an attempt of demonizing men of color once again. I keep trying to tell you that. Anytime you get a man of color on here talking, I can't think of one time that I've ever, even the hustlers, okay? I don't like what Umar does. He's been trying to open this school for the past 10 years, has collected well over $1 million or whatever the case may be, right? I never have went to Umar's page, and I want this to be underlined and noted and duly noted. I have never went to Umar's page. I've never went to Tariq Nasheed's page. I've never went to Boyce Watkins' page. I've never went to litany of cast of characters that are on here to take in the donations or whatever, and they're never called out, even when they take donations in the millions. I have never went, yes, you heard me correctly, in the millions. I have never went to Tommy Sotomayor's page. I have never went to Fresh and Fit's page. I have never went to anybody that adapts the same format that many of us do here on YouTube, and which is I have flagged their page or told their followers, don't donate to them. Why? Because it's despicable. It's despicable behavior. Not only is it despicable behavior, it's behavior that shouldn't be highlighted. It's behavior that shouldn't be demolished. It's a behavior that's just disgusting. But I want y'all to see, and like I said, homie, I don't know your aunt, okay? Let's get this correct. I don't know you. I don't know your aunt. I don't know who your aunt is. Your aunt didn't have a picture on her profile like many people do. So they randomly come in and they comment or whatever, and then you want to take it live and say, oh, that's my aunt. That's this. This is my cousin. This is this. Here's a word of advice. Tell your aunt, your cousins, or whoever else, stop coming to people's pages randomly, blurting out whatever they want to blurt out, saying whatever they want to say, and then expect no one to say the same thing back to them with the same amount of energy. Your aunt said something that was totally untrue. I don't know your aunt. I don't know you. I don't care to know you two as far as adeptly like that or whatever the case may be. I've never even seen you on my page before, to be quite honest with you, sir. Your name is Freshly Brim. I've never even talked to you. So if you think that I somehow genetically can adapt the fact that that's your aunt, that's your cousin, that's your friend or whatever, and that's supposed to somehow or another succumb me to being able to basically speak to everybody in a friendly fashion, even though they can say whatever the fuck they want to me, sir, you're mistaken. And I don't think you would even go with that same attitude in your own personal life, which you defined here when you said somebody disrespected your aunt. So it's okay for your aunt to say whatever she wants to say. It's okay for other people to come here on my channel and say whatever they want to say, and I don't say anything back. So that's called punking someone. And you're not going to punk me, period. I heard what you said. You're not going to disrespect me. I heard you, and I don't have a problem with you. But let's get past that silly shit with the silly argument about, whatever. I'm not going to apologize to your aunt because she sat there and she said something that I'd already said at the beginning of the podcast, and I felt offended by that. And I think my audience felt offended by it too because they were sitting there and they were listening to everything that I said. All right? So that's enough with your aunt. I don't know your aunt. I don't know you. And that's the end of it. You're interrupting the broadcast now. Now, that's it. Now, thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Now, I want to read what Miss Chocolate Divine had to say. I don't donate to people because they make me feel good. I donate when I can, if I can, because I feel like I'm so confused by that statement because there's no self-confidence here. Once again, like I said, the forefront of a lot of this stuff that y'all see here is women attacking other women. That was a woman attacking another woman. And this woman has previously come into my page and said she's a friend of the channel. I've never said anything to her. Definitely, Marion. Thank you very much. I read everybody's comments. I literally do. And most podcasters, they won't read your comments. I read everybody's comments. Is that with an intention or whatever? It's just the way my page goes, man. You know, I don't do this silly stuff of you commenting and donating are in correlation. I only do that with people that are talking a negative guise or talking a negative connotation, and then they haven't donated. That's when I say something to somebody or whatever. But make no mistake about it, I want to say this. One, I don't care what you think, how you say it, or what you equate success to be in your life. My life has been very successful. I worked for a record company for 17 years. I've had a great career as far as the people I've met, the experiences I've had, and most people 2 times my age will never have the experience. Most people right now on their daily job are working so they can go down to Miami for a couple of days and have a couple of extra dollars to spend with them. Most people are working their butt off so they can go down to Atlanta and party the way that they want to party and have fun or whatever the case may be. And they'll never get to experience the same way we did because we were with the stars when we were doing it. You see the difference? So, yeah, the same way that someone will knock what you're doing, but you'll turn around and support what they're doing. You'll turn around and have full confidence and come in full-heartedly and naturally and say to someone, hey, you know what? I like what you're doing, man, and I want to support it. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I go to people's establishments. Let me tell you something. If I pick anybody that knows me, especially people in the other side of Connecticut, they know this. And this is kind of like our thing out there on the shoreline. If you have a bar that we like, or you have a restaurant that we like, or you have something that we like, people will usually turn around and do this. The first thing they'll do is they'll say, hey, that's going to be my bar, that's going to be my restaurant, that's going to be my this, that's going to be my that from now on. And I'm going to frequent that one place and that one place only. And when I spend money, I'm going to spend it at that one place and that one place only. Why? Because I want to see that place stay open. Now, we did this with bars and restaurants that were locals or whatever. Many people know what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ, what is this guy's name? I haven't said it. Casey Lestat. Many people know him. He's a huge logger. He's been on GQ magazine and everything else or whatever. His family owns a restaurant in New London, Connecticut called Muddy Waters. Has some of the best croissants you ever have in your life. I would go in there on regimen and go and order the same sandwich, croissant, egg, and cheese with sausage. It cost me about $3, and I would do that, and they would close around about 2 o'clock, 2:30, somewhere around there, midday. I've always done that, and it's always been kind of a thing of mine or whatever. And you'll be surprised how a lot of people don't appreciate that. I had some people, they would get mad because of the frequency I would come in to patronize their business. And these are people of color and sometimes white people too. But I like to point out the people of color specifically because they did this. And they would get mad and they would be like, why did you come in here to buy something again? Didn't you get what you wanted yesterday? And I'm like, okay, what the fuck did I do to you? You know what I mean? That's the first thing. And usually after that, I won't patronize the business anymore. And the reason I won't do that is because, okay, now you created an environment for me where I don't even feel comfortable. And the first place and the reason I came in here initially is because I felt comfortable. You've ever had that happen to you, go into a black establishment or a Latin establishment? Like, it's very weird. And they have a preference for having white customers outside of you. That's another thing. They have this preconceived notion. You can come in there and spend $70-something at their establishment. A white person will come in there and spend $15 at their establishment, and they will have more respect for the white person, because they're white and they spent $15 than the person that's black or Latin that spent $70. And don't tell me it's something different than that, because it is. Yeah, I'm telling you. I've had it happen to me a couple of times, Miss Chocolate Divine. She said it's happened to me too. Yeah, see, I can't make this stuff up. So we're not making up conversations here. We're not, you know what I mean? None of that stuff or whatever. Some people don't like the way I talk. I'm a very plain-spoken man. I grew up here in the tri-state. That's how we talk. That's how we carry ourselves. And I have no problem with voicing how I feel to people. I don't think you should either. But one thing you're not going to do, you're not going to come into my channel, you disrupt my channel and reiterate and take my words and then point them as your own. That's freaking neurotic, man. Normal people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I have a problem with that. Yes, I do. But I even have a bigger problem with what you just saw displayed by Angela Harris, who I thought was a friend. Angela Harris, I'm still trying to figure out, what did I do to you? Because last time I talked to Angela Harris was very nice to me. She was very nice to me. And if I remember correctly, Angela Harris, I'm not sure, but I don't think you've ever donated here, ever. I don't think you've ever donated to me, or maybe I'm wrong. If you have, let me know. Because what I want to do is, if you donated some money to me before, you can prove it. I want to give you your money back before I block you. I want to do that. And I'm going to start doing that, because that is ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? That like somebody would come into your page, and y'all saw it displayed for yourself, when somebody would come into your page and tell somebody, and this is like I said, now y'all saw it for yourself, that someone would come in here and they would tell you not to donate to me for whatever reason they have or whatever. That's like me going to somebody's job and saying, yo, don't pay them. Or going to somebody's job and saying, yo, don't, say somebody is a bartender or whatever. I got like, I use that, the bartender or a server at a restaurant or whatever, because that's the best examples I can give. But imagine you were a server at a restaurant, or you were a bartender or whatever, and I whisper over to somebody, yo, don't tip them. They ain't worth it. They trying to pull one on you. Imagine if I did that. That would be fucking crazy, right? I would think so. But it has always happened in my life. I think a lot of that same stuff that you saw right there, that was the same thing that happened to me in the music business. There was a lot of whispers, yo, don't help him, don't let him get ahead, yo, about him or whatever. And a lot of times, I'm not pointing out anybody specifically, but there's a litany of different people I can point out for that. Litany of different people I can point out for that. But no one specific. But with that conversation being said, there are people out here that you got to remember, they do not want to see you move forward. I've been through this before. That's why if they ever give, I don't say, that's why if I ever give, I don't say my name. I think that's what you're saying. I don't say my name. Yeah, I got you, Marion Thomas. I've never had anybody by your name donate to me that I could recognize or whatever. But if you encourage to donate, it's $STRINGERBELL80. I'm about my money. I suffer from PTSD and I suffer from trauma based off what I went through. I went through a lot of things that I don't even talk about here on camera. I was assaulted by my ex, pretty bad. You know what I mean? Based off an argument that her and I had about her cheating, not me cheating, her cheating. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna tell the story. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna tell the story. And I'm going to summarize as much as I can, because I don't want to embarrass her, because, like I said, I've learned to forgive her. Back about, now stemming back almost 5 years ago now, you'd be surprised how quickly time passes, but stemming back about 5 years ago now, I had an ex. And at the end of our relationship, the beginning of our relationship was beautiful. She was my friend. Like I said, she was younger than me. I met her at a friend of mine's art gallery. Beautiful woman in every aspect. But one of the problems was she was in love with her ex, right? And she decided that she was going to start seeing her ex and 2 or 3 other people behind my back, based off the same type of shit. Somebody whispered this in their ear, whispered that in their ear, or whatever. And a lot of times I get misquoted, or I get misinterpreted by the way I talk, the way I look, or whatever. I have a lot of confidence within myself. You have to have confidence to be here on YouTube. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people can't sit on here and go 3.5 hours, 2 hours, or whatever. A lot of people got upset the other night that I did a donation drive for myself, because I barely mentioned my Cash App and stuff during my broadcast. When I have my uploads, I never mention in there, hey, make sure at the end of the video, hey, make sure you donate to $ST. I never even mention it. I just upload the video, upload the clip, and then I put the link in the description box, or I'll put it in the pinned comment section or whatever. What I'm saying is, I don't put emphasis on a weekly basis to people as much as I should on donating to me. I don't. And so I feel on my channel, who has garnered so many views, Why don't, and it was at the behest of another person who said to me, Dabby, you should put more strain on people donating to you. And I'm like, yo, you got a point there. Because literally, this is my life. This is what I spend doing. And people get mad at me for vlogging or saying what I'm saying. But then when you go to their channels, they don't have any followers. Or they have material up. And the material has little to no views. Or little to no subscribers. And they feel at that time, because they see you doing what you do, that is a chance and an opportunity, because they look at it really as this way. I could do what he does, but I ain't got the time to do it. I got to go over here and do this. But that's your life choice. I had friends that made fun of me before I got with Bad Boy Entertainment that were working at McDonald's and Burger King and things like that, or whatever. 3 years after I was with the company, and probably one of my first 2 or 3 trips across the country with the company it was paid for, these same people were still working at Burger King and Wendy's. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Can I get one time for that? Some of these same people were still working at Burger King and Wendy's 5 years after I got with the record company. Can I get an amen on that one? So it goes to show, you only win you can attribute yourself to. I'm not going to be shamed out of asking for donations. I'm not going to be shamed as far as somebody concerning my age and whether or not I should have children or don't have children or should be married or where I should be socially in society or whatever. I survived the fucking pandemic in New York City. Hey, Ruby Johnson. I survived the pandemic in New York City. You can't tell me shit. You can't tell me nothing. And I left New York City on my own with a bag, put the rest of my stuff in storage, and brought my happy-go-lucky ass back into Connecticut, and still had to go through some suffrage, which is on this channel that you can see. I want to read some of these comments. That's why I never give to. I read that one. Happened to me yesterday, and I canceled my purchase. The manager was pissed and she didn't care. That was regarding black employees not having the same respect for black people as they do for whites. I understand that and that. I want to know what I did too, because she's making it seem like I'm a trick or something. I don't appreciate it. I'm trying to figure it out too, Miss Chocolate Divine. I honestly don't know where that came from. Angela Harris has been on my page before, right? And she has always had an interaction of being nice with me, being cool with me, or whatever the case may be. I don't know what I've said in the past couple of days, weeks, or whatever that has made her feel a different way. But yes, I am going to get on my page and I can have a donation drive. This is my page. I can do whatever I want to with this vehicle. And some people think for some reason or another, because of the notoriety of they see us both as the same color, that they can come on your channel and circumnavigate what you should or shouldn't be doing, but don't have the gumption and the balls to do the same thing themselves. I don't know what WSG dog means, but how you doing, Hack? All right. Hey, Ruby Johnson. You know what? Some people don't need a reason. A lot of mental health issues on here on YouTube. She don't know you or know your character. She is a non-factor. Now, I want to say something about that. Annette Foster probably talks to me in person. She talks to me in real life on the phone all the time, and she sends me stories. She donates to me frequently. I will tell her, hey, listen, I'm going to do this. You guys don't know this interaction. I will take videos. I will send the videos to her, whatever I purchased or whatever the case may be, and I will show it to her, because it's all the point of being respectful. You understand what I'm saying? It's all about a point of being respectful. Annette gave me $300. I'm going to keep this a buck. Annette gave me $300 to buy an air conditioner. She knew the air conditioner only cost $179 or whatever, but she threw me an extra $120 just to say, hey, go do what you're going to do or whatever. I took that money and I specifically put it into my savings. If I go right now and get a bank statement, which I can do right now at the ATM right across the street, it will show you when I go into my savings, there's $300 in my savings that Annette gave me. And the reason I didn't spend that money is because of, one, I never know when I have an emergency. Two, sometimes it's fickle here with the weather. Today was 90-something freaking degrees. This evening it's cool, the wind's blowing right now, and it's raining. It was drizzling just a minute ago. We have finicky weather up here. So I'm like, let me just save that $300, because you never know what may happen. Late August months, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be or whatever. I always show what I do with my donation money. The majority of these fucking bloggers, they won't do that. They won't do that at all. You understand what I'm saying? I never hinder where I go with my donations. Yesterday, Annette called me. She said, what are you doing? She knew I got donations the night before, whatever. It cost me $12 to get to New York City, in case you guys are wondering from where I'm at. That's round trip, not one way, round trip. I said, Annette, I'm on my way to New York right now. You understand? Annette knows when I'm in New York, I always have to stay on point because of all the wackos and crazies out, so I don't be on the phone chit-chat. Unless I can find a space in the area that I'm comfortable with, and I can sit there and I'll be like, okay, I'm familiar with this area, so I know ain't no funny stuff can go on. I can talk on the phone. She knows that. You know what I mean? But if I'm in Brooklyn, I'm not sitting on the phone. I love her to death, but I ain't sitting on the phone with you because that's the wacko section over there. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't hear her disputing anything I said. So I'm a very straight and deliberate person, and that shocks a lot of people. And I think, and I hate to say this, but I think the reason that I'm attacked so much, and a lot of other black men and black women and Latin men and Latin women should be paying attention to it, is because I'm a man and the color I am. They would not have that same energy with a white man. I'm trying to tell you, they would not have that same energy with a white woman. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. So when I have somebody come on here, and I've told y'all before, that people that come on my page, a lot of times the comments get retracted. I had one person, this was just last week, and that's what I was talking about on the second donation drive I did. I had a person leave 72 comments to individuals telling them not to donate to me. And I'm like, why not? Why wouldn't you donate to me? I don't get on here talking about anything stupid. Oh, I get it. You have a preference, and people should date rather to people that get on here daily and talk. People that get on here daily and try to separate us even further economically. You understand? With these little cute little signatures. Oh, they dusty. Oh, they this or whatever, whatever. I had a woman call me dusty or whatever, whatever. And I was like, bitch, I guarantee you if I did a hint up on my resume, it don't match. A lot of people leave out the equation. I'm a college graduate. A lot of people leave out the equation. I grew up very well. A lot of people leave out the equation. If I wanted to pack up and leave right now and go to my family down south, I guarantee you couldn't equate to any of the jobs any of them have had for 20, 30, 40 years, all the service they put into this country during their different multitude of branches in the military. You understand? And that goes to my father's family as well. So it's like, when somebody comes in and they say what they say to me or whatever, or don't donate to this person or whatever, and they have no legitimate reason for not saying that, it kind of just throws me off. It just throws me off, really. And I said, that place is coming from a different place of hate. That's coming from somebody that just doesn't want to see a man of color succeed. Now, y'all heard me call that woman earlier, whatever I called her, whatever, and that was just pent up aggression. And maybe she deserved it, and maybe she didn't. But that was just pent-up aggression from having women continuously come on my page. When I don't go, there are women on here that literally talk about aborting specifically black male babies. I've never gone to this woman's page and flagged her page. I have never, even though I made posts about her previously, I have never gone to her page and said, don't donate to this woman. I have never flagged this woman's page. I have never made a copyright claim at this woman's page or anything else, or the litany of different other women like Pink Book and many of the other ones that sit on here on a daily basis and talk down about men. There's a woman right now that's on YouTube. I'm not going to say her name. And many of y'all know her. It has been almost 2 months, almost 3 months since Kevin Samuels has died. And daily, what she does is she makes sure every day she has a post up about Kevin Samuels to defame him more and more. Every day. And when I say every day, I mean every day. She does a post about Kevin Samuels. And she makes money off that post talking about a dead man. I'm going to say this again. She makes money off her post talking about a dead man. That dead man being Kevin Samuels. The man's not even here to defend himself. So don't tell me here on YouTube there's not a prosperity of people, including other men, these female-raised men, that are out here that are typically going and attacking other black male and Latin male vloggers and telling people, don't donate to him. Don't donate to him. Don't donate to him. Why? What are you jealous of? Won't you start your own channel? Start talking about your own particular interests at hand and see how good you do. Would you tell people don't donate to your channel? No, it'd be all right then, right? It'd be okay then, right? It'd be everything's fine then, right? No, I actually put in the work. I actually go to locations. The people really don't like me for whatever reason it is. And I really don't give a shit. I really don't. I've gotten well past the factor of who likes me or who doesn't like me. I've gotten past the factor of having friends, really. I've deduced that down to I'm open just to meeting new people. I've always been like that. My sisters are like that. God bless her heart. She's the same way. We're just open and nice people, you know? And like, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people that you run into nowadays, they just aren't that. They just aren't nice. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you prevail. They don't want to see you move ahead. They want to see your total utter destruction. And they want to see that destruction based on the fact that they win in the end. I'm going to read some more of these comments. Guys, make sure you donate $STRINGERBELL80. Stringer Bell 80. The link's in the description box. Also, there's a PayPal link and a GoFundMe link. If you do not have Cash App or do not wish to sign up for anything or any service, you can use it like that. A lot of channel holders put their Cash Apps up. He isn't the only one. What's the big deal? That's what I'm saying. Thank you so much for saying that, Miss Chocolate Divine. Name me a black channel or a Latin channel or a white channel that doesn't have a Cash App, a GoFundMe, or whatever on their thing. And the reason they do it is because the same reason I'm explaining to you guys. They know once they link with the people that know YouTube and know how to utilize this like we do, they will tell you once you partner with AdSense, you are now condensed to whatever they want you to put out. That's what you better put out. And what you put out is based on the ads that they want you to put on your channel. So for example, the first time that I did AdSense or whatever, that was before the video got flagged of the baby and then they threw me out of the program and I had to reapply for it. The first time that I did AdSense, that's when I learned it. I said, oh, I can't put up what I want to because they can't run ads over it. You understand? So most of the other YouTubers, they'll tell you the same thing. Once you partner, ask Storm Monroe. Storm knows, once you partner with AdSense, you are very coattail to what you could say. And the probability of you getting flagged is determined higher. And so once you're flagged, you're thrown out of the AdSense program for a matter of days and you have to reapply and all that shit, right? Sometimes AdSense won't take you back at all if this is your second or third offense. So now you're not making any money. So to compensate us for our time, compensate us for things that I'm trying to do in my personal life, as I explained the other day, I am really reestablishing my life. You understand what I'm saying? And so when somebody gets on here and they say, oh, you begging, or you doing this, or whatever. Listen, dude, I have people that I thought, and I'm not talking about anybody specific, so if anybody here is going to rebroadcast, but I'm going to tell you how real it is with me and how much I know a lot of people just don't like me for who I am. Some people are jealous of me, some people are envious of me, whatever the case may be. And there's a different line of litanies involved in that. But one of the reasons I specifically knew there was a problem was because of pure simple fact, people were more taken by how easily I was able to accomplish what I was able to accomplish. But one, I have friends that have never thought to themselves, you know what, let's all get together, put $100 or $200 each, and make sure we get this guy into a nice little home warming situation or whatever the case may be. These are people that directly know me, inside the industry and outside the industry. So I got to say this to both of you. This goes for people in the industry as well. There are people in the industry that know me personally that have never said, hey, let me throw this guy $1,000, $2,000. No, what they'll tell you is, get your chin up, nigga. You better go over there and work for the white man like we did. You know, they'll tell you all this little corny shit or whatever, to get past and bypass the fact that they don't want to contribute. Now, I'm not asking for anything or begging for anything or anything else on that matter. I don't think anybody else here is either that's on YouTube that has a Cash App up, anybody else that's on YouTube that has a GoFundMe account up, or anything else, including the women. What I do find is a lot of times the women, for some reason or another, they are more well respected in the genre online than the men are. And the women will say some of the most heinous shit. Like, it's just crazy. Let me read the rest of these. She made me feel bad when she put, I can't lie. I felt bad coming on here negative. I don't want to be a part of that industry. Freshly Brim, you good, man. You welcome here. Welcome to the channel. All right. Nobody go in on Freshly Brim. Nobody say nothing to him. He's cool. She's a nobody. And that crazy. So basically, it's not freedom of speech and getting paid from ads either or. No, it's not freedom of speech at all, Nat. There's a lot of, okay, so basically, you're able to pick the points of where you want to put the ads or where you prefer the ads to be placed within your video. So that means if you guys watch my videos on the live broadcast, you wouldn't get any commercials per se. But if you log off of my live broadcast and then come back to my live broadcast, you're going to see an ad. If you watch the live rebroadcast of my lives or just my uploads or whatever, I can pick certain points of where I want to put in ads, or Google AdSense will pick certain points where they want to put in ads. You're also able to put it as many times. So some people have it in there 20, 30 times. Some people have it in there 10 times or whatever. I don't think that I would get the same fluency if you guys came to my videos and you found yourself now having to wait through 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds or whatever advertisement from shit that you're never going to purchase any damn way. You understand what I'm saying? Or click on most of the time, because these are specific to what Google's advertisers are offering. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm pointing you and say, hey, here's a new Jay-Z album, go cop it on Tidal. I don't have that choice. It's not like I'm saying, yo, here goes the new MC Brim and his new single on Spotify. It's not like I could do that. You get what I'm saying? You have no control. Even with, like, another thing, I'm like, as far as like how much your ads get, how much your posts get out when you're going live, I have to depend on Google and YouTube to do that for me. Which reminds me of this. Let me share this one time. You really are that dependent on the engine of YouTube or whatever, and people just don't realize it. This is why you see people with 100,000 subscribers, but their videos only have 40 or 60,000 views on it. It's because we have no control over sending out our shit to people. If we did, and which is something I hope that YouTube will do in the future, but I think they're doing it because they don't want their servers to break down. Imagine if you could tell 100,000 people simultaneously, hey, I'm live, and just 50% of them showed up. That's 50,000 people. You understand what I'm saying? So enable Google servers not to break down with those many people, because it's a billion people that utilize and billion visitors. I think it's something like 11 billion now daily on YouTube. They have to do that. That's what I think. And when you accompany all the people that do go live, and most of the time simultaneously, meaning right now as I'm live, there's at least 500 people that are also live too. They don't want their servers to break down or get interrupted, so that's why they do it like that. There's a different way of doing it, I think. I think you could offer time slots for people. I think you could offer premium accounts for people, which would allow them then to max out the potentiality. Because if I could reach all 10,000 of the people that watch me or view me or whatever the case may be, I know I would get way more donations than this. The problem is I'm regulated around YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And that rules. So if that makes you guys understand a little bit better, I hope so. You know what I mean? Hey, OG Patrice, I'm just sitting here telling these guys about how this YouTube shit works and what I've learned in the past year. I've done so much in-depth study about YouTube in my off time. It used to be sometimes a net would call me and I'd be like, listen, I can't answer the phone right now watching this YouTube video because I'm trying to, as Puff would say, I'm trying to lock in. You understand what I'm saying? That's one thing that man taught us, and I will say this to this day. Puff taught us that. You got to concentrate on things or whatever. And when I concentrated on getting myself back in an apartment, y'all saw that happen. Y'all watched me first rate fight my way through. And a lot of people think that I just sat there and let the people just handle it the way they wanted to handle it. No. You can ask them. I was on it every day. You need some paperwork, you need this, you need that, or you need proof of my previous employers, you need proof of my previous living situations, you need proof of I paid $40 for my own credit report while I was in a homeless shelter. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a fact. I've shown people that before. So I fought to get myself out of that situation. I don't hide it. The whole fucking pathology of it is on my fucking, my YouTube page right here. You just don't see it because it's so far down, because it's now going back. I said 9 months ago earlier, but actually it's more like 7 months ago. It's like 7 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, because you take off a month. So yeah, like six months ago that I've been out of that situation. So when I sit back and I see the litany of people that come on and they say stuff like that or whatever, it doesn't bother me the least. It doesn't occur to me that someone would even say that, like Angela Harris said earlier. It just kind of deterred me from this point of view. I said to myself, I said, you know, even when Angela just said that, she said, don't donate to him. I said, oh, that sounds like something I've heard before. That sounds like something I heard before. And I got to point out and emphasize this once again. It's not coming from white people. It comes from black and brown people. And they have this ideology of, I want to see you big. I want to see you make it. But I don't want to see you bigger than me. And so I've proven the behavior Once again, Angela Harris, there was no reason for you to say that. Really wasn't. It was kind of mean-spirited. And Angela Harris, I've never said anything mean to you. Never. I've always had pleasant interactions with her. But that goes to show you, your subscribers, some of them will flip on you. And she was one of them. These people don't want you to have a story about your life, especially if it's true and uplifting. Marion Thompson, you said that right. Marion Thomas, you said that right on point. They don't. And it even equates out into regular life. Like I was explaining earlier, I can recollect going to establishments, especially here in the Connecticut shoreline, which is maybe an hour away from here, where I mostly lived between here and there. And I can remember we would pick different locations or whatever the case may be to pick as art bar or art restaurant or whatever the case may be, right? And we would tail in and lock into that place, and we'd be like, okay, this is going to be the bar that we come to from now on, or this is going to be the what's the name that we come to from now on, whatever the case may be, right? And once we did that out of the notoriety of, hey, we're helping this establishment, we're helping this business, we're coming here to frequent here because we believe in you, and we don't want you to capsize because of lack of business. That means even though the days that I remember one particular bar I used to go to, shout out to Samantha Richer, the Galley, it's now closed, but she's one of the perfect examples of this. I remember I used to go into that bar sometimes, and they served food too, so don't believe I just went in there to get a drink. I would go in there to kick it with Sam or the few friends that we had or whatever. It was a very small place, but their hamburgers, oh my God, they were out of this world. They cost like $5. It's called a Galley burger. People that live out in Connecticut, Niantic, y'all know what I'm talking about. So we would go there in Waterford too. So we would go there, we get our burgers, whatever, maybe have a beer, whatever. We watched the game. It was a sports bar. And so there would be 2 or 3 people in there, and we would sit in there, we would have a good time, we would, you know what I mean? And never one time did Sam say, hey, I don't appreciate your business or whatever. Now, she was Italian. I picked a black bar to do that at, and they acted as if I was bothering them by coming in. Like, my sheer presence was appalling to them. And I'm like, dude, I'm here to support you. Don't you get it? And by the looks of it, it looks like you need my support. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black and Latin businesses, they don't believe this way. They believe in their ultimate modus operandi is to get white customers to patronize their businesses. And they don't do this out of monetary reasons. They do this out of aesthetic reasons. They believe that this makes their business appear more profitable than other people. And I say, to my regard, if you think that your business looks more, and you're talking to somebody that's dad ran his own business, I ran my own business, I made a lot of money doing it. If you talk to someone and you think the aesthetics of your business is based on the skin color of these people, well, I can point out to you probably at the very least across the country, including all the places I've been to, Miami, LA, Texas, all of them that I've thrown up pictures of, or whatever, working at the particular job that I was at. These white club owners, they don't make any money unless they have a black or Latin night. I'll say that to you one more time. These white club owners, they don't make any money unless they have a black or Latin night. So, and if you ask any white club owner, they're going to tell you that, especially in Miami. Exactly. Without the presence, they would have no money. Exactly. So, I heard this saying one time. It said, I like to patronize black and Latin businesses. Just make sure you make your business and your proprietary, make sure that you make it able to adjustably be able to patronize. Meaning, I don't want anybody in here that is, a bad influence to the business. I get that, but I'm not going to particularly point it out and say it's based on race. Most of the time, most of the clubs I've been to across the country, every time that I've seen a fight, it's been between females. It's been between females, all different colors, cultures of females too. Most of the time that I've seen fights in clubs, they have always been between females. And if the guys get in fights, it's because they're trying to break up the girls fighting. I've always seen that. Don't touch her. That's my cousin. That's my sister. That's my niece. That whole thing comes to a point. You throw in 5 bottles of alcohol behind it, you got yourself a clusterfuck. That's why I don't drink like that. I do not drink like that. Anybody that knows me, I'm saying this online. Anybody that knows me, tap in, you know this. My minimum is 3 drinks. You understand what I'm saying? After that, no, I'm good. I'm good, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. A lot of times you got to realize too, once you drink and once you get drunk, The bar is not responsible for you once you walk out that door. And they know that legally. Most states anyway. They're not legally responsible for you after you leave out that door. That means anything that happens to you, any type of occurrence you happen to you, you're on your own. So guys, that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna run over here to the store real quick, try to get me some dinner for the night, whatever. Thank you, Annette. I'm spending the last little bit on that or whatever. I had, I think, $70 left on that, so I'm gonna go spend that. And I'll show you, of course, what I bought with it, so don't worry about that. I know I don't have to, but I like to do it anyway, just to show Annette respect, because she donates on here frequently. And guys, if you haven't donated, I want to say this. I don't know what Angela Harris's whole thing was. I really don't know. I'm saddened by it because I thought she was a friend to the channel. I really do. And I don't miss her. I don't wish her any ill will. I just wish she wouldn't have brought that negative energy in here. I have never personally said anything bad to Angela Harris. So I don't know where that came from or whatever. But I'm just trying to show you guys, and I hope that you get it. That's not the first time that that's happened. You know, and I can guarantee you, I probably missed out on thousands upon thousands of dollars based on people doing stuff like that for whatever reason for it is they don't like me. If you have some suggestions why you don't like me, and matter of fact, I'm gonna throw up a question in the community section and ask people, why don't you like my vlog? Because it seems like I have more people. I got 1.3 million views in 28 days. So it seems like more people like me that don't like me. The problem is we have these staples of people that are just sheer haters. And I'm just trying to say to you, I'm not an unaccomplished man. I worked for a record label for 17 fucking years, all right? I'm far from unaccomplished. It's on my resume. I've lived in extravagant places. I've freaking traveled everywhere. I mean, right now, and I'm being quite honest, the neighborhood that I live in, can even compare to when I used to live here. I used to live in a place called Strawberry Street, not far from here when I used to live here in Stanford. And it's very different from the dynamic of where I live at now. It's obvious. Like, I showed particularly one person that's on here right now. I think I see you. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because the first thing you said, oh shit, they moved you moved over there. And I was like, yeah, shit is different now out here. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be right there. I don't know if I'm gonna renew my lease or whatever. For the containment of it, I could say the neighborhood is at least have decent people. There's some hardworking people over here. For the most part, most of everybody over here is pretty fucking nice. And so that's something to take in consideration versus the litany of white neighborhoods that I've lived in majority all my life. It's usually a 70-30. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. No, I think Angela Harris is a batch of Annette. You know, Annette, I done told you this on the phone a couple of times. I hope you tap in yes on the chat room just to confirm this. I've told you about this. I said there's messages that get retracted. I have a system set up, so if you have severe message or something like that or whatever, I have it set up in YouTube Studio where I only see it in YouTube Studio and it doesn't go into the comments if you say something too irate or whatever. And so there was somebody that left 72 messages. This is the fourth time this has happened. Somebody that left 72 messages, meaning they copied and pasted the same message over and over and over and over and over and over and over again and spread it out and told people not to donate to me. And I'm like, why not donate to me? And I think it is because, first of all, one, I went out on my birthday. Somebody donated $100 for me to go out on my birthday. I believe it was TMH. He donated $100 for me to go on my birthday. The next day, I had people on my page, and it was like 4 messages got retracted. Oh, so you out partying with the It's my birthday. Do you know what my birthday was like last year and the year before that? Okay, my birthday beforehand was sucked because the fucking pandemic had started. Then I went through a second year of the protest. So I ain't gonna go anywhere. Of course I'm gonna have a fucking drink. And if somebody donates to me and tells me specifically, yo, go have a good time and go drink. I don't go out very often. When I do go out, I go out and I listen to music. When I go out and I hadn't been out in like 2 years. So when I went out, and I think it was last Thursday, I went out with the intentions of doing karaoke. Karaoke didn't happen because the guy that does karaoke, he didn't show up. So God bless his heart. Shout out to him. Well, he's a good guy. He didn't show up. I guess he had something going on or whatever. So I ended up staying there because it's a way off from my house. And so at that point, it's like, damn, I walked all the way down here. I'm not going to walk all the way back home. So I said, man, I better drink or two or whatever. So I had a drink or two, enjoy the music that was being played. They had a DJ ended up coming in there or whatever. Next night I stayed at home. And I was bored as shit. I was sitting at home watching movies, played a little PlayStation a little bit, whatever. Did some research, grabbed some newer stories to throw up for you guys or whatever. And that was it. My whole day basically consists of finding stories that I find that are adequate. So maybe you guys want to see 3 or 4 uploads or whatever. I do it just like in the preparation when we're making music. I'd be like, you know what? I got 7 songs, but only 2 of them sound good. You know what I mean? So we're going to throw up the 2 songs that sound good. So that's the same verses of elimination. So I'll come across 8 stories, and sometimes people will be like, how come you didn't report on this? How come you didn't say anything about this? I didn't say anything about it because I think it contributed to negativity. And I don't want that on my page. And I don't like negative people on my page. But I've got a lot of them. I've got another set of people, it's like 8 of them. They come on my page on a daily basis and press thumbs down. Another thing that I do is I go to people's lives sometimes, especially women. And what I'll do is I'll say something that's triggering because I want to see who the true person they are inside is. And a lot of times you will find that a lot of these women and men that get online and they say what they say or whatever, they don't mean that shit. And they'll show you exactly who the fuck they are. That's why I never hide who I am. I never hinder back from cursing online. I never hinder back from smoking cigarettes in front of you guys. I've never done that since day one. You understand? And shout out to Joey Diaz, because he doesn't do the same fucking thing. Shout out to Joey Diaz, one of the craziest Cuban vloggers on here. The best thing to do is when you get online is to be yourself. Because if you're not yourself, what happens is you fall into this fold where now people are wanting to see a character each time that you get online. So every time that you get online, you got to have the same octave, you got to have the same energy, you got to act the same buffoonery, you got to say the same stupid shit, you got to promote the same negativity, you got to applaud people that do the most heinous crimes in history. And that's where you're left at. Guys, my name is Davin Lewis. We're going to be changing the channel around on this name on this channel too for particular reasons or whatever. But I just want to tell everybody here, thank you for donating or whatever. And I just want to say one other time, I'm not an unaccomplished man. And please do not let people explain to you who I am. When you can come to my page, you can see the litany of different videos and see me unrehearsed and everything else and see who I truly am, you know? And I hate the fact that someone, and it's very few people, like I said, I got 1.3 million views, and I had one video that's got like, I think flat out 1 million views now. And there was 6 negative comments on there out of thousands, you know what I mean? I wanted, and LG Patrice, I'm glad you said that. So I did a donation drive. This past Friday and Saturday, I believe, or Saturday and Sunday. I did a donation drive or whatever. We got up some dollars. What I'm trying to do, and if you guys want to contribute, you see this on a broadcast, I need to get a laptop. I need to get a laptop so I can do that. That's exactly what I was talking about. I want to have people in here on live calls. I want people to be able to ask me whatever they want to ask me. I want to be able to open and branch this up. And for some reason or another, a lot of people, they don't want to allow me to do that. A lot of people, Patrice, you've been here with me since the beginning too. You know I'm a genuine person. Most people that know me intimately know I'm a very genuine, natural speaking, very good person. But I don't take no bullshit. And that's a shoreline in me. Don't come with me with that bullshit. You come with me with some bullshit, I change up real quick. But in my daily living, in my daily life, I am the nicest person in the world. I'm not out to make enemies. I've always been raised to be out to make friends. And it occurs me sometimes when I get people to come on here and they sometimes just want to say the most heinous things, the most evilest things to me. And the fact of trying to deter people from donating to me or whatever the case may be. I know y'all can't hear me. Y'all got to give me a second. Just give me 1 second. That was one of the city buses rolling by. That thing is loud. I'm out and about right now. I'm about to head over to the... Matter of fact, you guys walk with me. I'm about to walk into the grocery store. I didn't even realize how late it was getting. So I want to get home and I want to eat something. I am freaking starving right now. Again, thank you, Annette, for donating to me to make me go into the grocery store possible, as many of other things. Let me turn this camera back around. But when you get people like that that are on the channel and they're just like, you know, doing heinous things like that, it's just sickening. It's not good for the culture. It shows people from the culture that you can get on and you can argue and bustle and fight and everything like that or whatever. And it's just like, you didn't want to turn around and talk about your kings and queens. Makes no sense to me. As far as something else I want to tap on before I get off of here, I'm going to go on, you guys just rock with me. You guys can go to the grocery store with me. How about that? Let's do that. As far as somebody trying to attack how old I was or whatever, let me tell you something. Most men 35, 40 or so, they all, and I'm in my young 40s. I wanna admit that. All right, I'm in my young 40s. So now you've heard me say it myself. But and I have no problem with that. Anybody that asks me my age, I never have a problem with. Most of the time, I always get the same response from women though, because it's not old. Your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. You will be here. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? And then you will be asking yourself questions like, why did I do this? Why didn't I do that? Why did I do this? I have no regret in my life of what I've done. See, that's one of the things that really sticks out for me. I have no regrets in what I've done. I worked at a record company. Do you know that opportunity alone? You know, I give that to Prez, and I would give that to Puff, and I'll give that to Malcolm and a whole bunch of those guys up there at Bad Boy. They allowed us at least that opportunity to be through the door. I don't like how everything panned out. I think they could have did more, and I got my discrepancies there, but we were there. And while I was there some of the pregnant times. And the problem I have is, you know, sometimes people will be out here and they will try to describe you to other people based on what they think of you or past experience they've had with you or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, wow, that's just foul, man. I have people to this day that hate me so much, they will still attack me. Even if I don't say nothing to them, I don't speak to them. And another thing you can do to hurt motherfuckers, if you just stay away from them, you know? And I wasn't aware of how many people in my life previously or otherwise, maybe even now, that don't like me. Like, that bothered me. But it's just, when you come on and you try to take from the vantage point of, yo, you don't have any kids, you were homeless, and all this stuff or whatever. First of all, I'm not even shamed by that. It doesn't bother me at all. You know what I'm saying? I think, honestly and truthfully, you're pretty disgusting. Yeah, I'm not talking about the brother Brim. I'm not talking about that because he's not the only one that said something like that. I know he said it out of anger and we're cool now, but I'm talking about, I've had somebody else say that to me before, and I gotta tell you, it doesn't bother me the least. It really doesn't. If it bothered me, I never would have went live and put it up there. You get what I'm saying? So, the only thing that bothers me right now is I don't have kids. I want kids. I think I'll make a great father. I've had so many women tell me previously. I had a woman tell me, and I remember specifically. She said, if I wasn't in the situation, you are like one of the best guys in the world. If I wasn't in the situation I was in, I would have a baby by you. I had a woman tell me that. She said, you will make a good father. My sisters have told me, why don't you have kids? You will make a great father. Girls that I've dated with kids before say, my kids won't listen to you more than they listen to me, you know? And I don't know if that's because I have nephews and things like that or whatever. I'm just good with kids, you know? And I wish I did have kids. I'd like to have somebody to wake up to every morning or whatever. I miss that. I have not been in a relationship since my ex. I fucked around, kissed a girl, whatever, slept with somebody here or there. But as far as a girlfriend, I haven't had a girlfriend since my ex, and that was almost 4 years, maybe 5 years ago now. I've never seen my ex again after that. And I think our interaction kind of hardened me, you know? I particularly need a woman that's younger than me because I want to have children. I cannot have a woman that is 40 years old at minimum and expect to have some children with her, at least healthy, or at least a litany amount of children that I want. You know, it's just not realistic. This is why you see most men that are older, they always have a younger wife. You know what I mean? And that's how everybody, you know, everybody's in different parts of their life. But for me, in this particular point of my life, if you're a man that's my age, you need a younger woman between the ages of, like, let's say 24 to 34 to have a kid by. This is what it is. And a lot of people, they want to sit back and they want to pretend to say, oh, okay, well, you know, you should be doing this, I shouldn't be doing anything but what I'm doing. Now, if you don't want to date me as a woman that's 24 through 34, that's fine. You know, I have no problem with that. But don't try to shame me. You sound retarded. Like, we're adults. You know what I mean? And I remember when my ex, now her family didn't have a problem with me. They loved me to death, except for the moments that we were together anyway. And I never had an issue. Other girlfriends that I've had, never had an issue. I think it's more of an issue with those particular individuals themselves. So it is what it is. How you doing now? All right. This is one of our Stanford police officers right here. Nice lady right there. But I like to point out good people. You know what I mean? She's always nice. Every time I see her, she always speaks. But let me tell you guys something. And as you notice, she was a black woman. And you notice how she said, "Hey, how you doing?" and smiled at me. That woman's always like that. And she's a black female police officer. So let's put that to the quam, right? You don't like black girls. Let's spoke to a fucking black police officer. Well, she spoke to me first, rather. I hope everybody saw that. But anyway, yeah, that's primarily the reason behind that. Is it's like, if you're in my age range or whatever the case may be, and you don't have kids, I mean, that's what it really is condensed to. You need a younger woman to have those children with. I'm not saying after you have those children. I'm not saying Sally, y'all. I'm not saying after that. So y'all know I'm in the grocery store. After I'm not saying anything particular, but I'm saying after you have those children, yeah, now you can date somebody that's your age or whatever, things don't pan out or don't work out how they're supposed to, whatever the case may be. Yeah, fine. But you have no right to come in and tell me who I should be dating, who shouldn't be dating, or whatever the case may be. And or where I should be in life, or whatever the case may be. I didn't already ascended. I don't know how to explain it, you know? But I just hate when people come in and they try to basically just tell you what you should be doing and you shouldn't be doing in life. And then when you do a thing in comparison, you look at what they've been doing in life, it doesn't equate. You know, it just doesn't equate. Your resume doesn't equate to mine on paper or anything else. So what are we talking about here? It sounds like to me that would be jealousy at that point, you know? And I don't like it. I don't like people that are in that mind frame. I don't like people that really have a gumption to always be on the attack end when it comes to things like that of that nature. And I just think that people like that are just really just sicko people, you know what I mean? And I'm just really tired of it. It's too many of them online. It's too many of them just constantly attacking people. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Do any of you guys think I'm wrong for saying what I said? Or do you think that I should have been more cautious with Angela Harris and what she had to say? Guys, make sure you hit up the Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL80 on the Cash App. There's also a GoFundMe there. And there's also a link in the description box for GoFundMe and PayPal if you do not have Cash App. Make sure y'all hit that up. You cannot tell me or shame me, just like Kevin Samuels has said before. You cannot shame me into not asking for donations. It's just not going to happen. Like, I don't care what you say, how mad you get, or whatever. But one thing that I just find ultimately disgusting is the fact that people go online and they literally tell people, "Hey, don't donate to this person because I don't like them." What kind of silly shit is that? You know, like, you have to really ask yourself what type of people do that. And I'll tell you what type of people do that. The type of people that do that are people that are vehemently I won't even use the word jealous of you, but just vehemently just like this disgusting people within inside themselves, you know? And the thing I hate to say about it is these people that mostly do this are people that look just like you and I. These are not white people doing this. These are black and Latin people that do stuff like this on a day-to-day basis, and it's sick. It's sick. It's like you get to the point where you don't even want to interact with your own people because you're fear that something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to be said, or, you know, something's going to happen that's not going to be in your favor. And I hate feeling like that. I don't know how I can express that to anybody, but I almost don't like interacting with my own because I think some bullshit's going to happen. And I just had the sister come in just a little while ago. What is her name? I don't know if she's still here now. But Miss Chocolate Divine, she said the exact same thing happens to her. So it's not like I'm making this stuff up on, you know, like anything like that. It's like, it's real form. Davin, people hate to hear the truth about themselves or situations that hit home. That's why they can't accept what you say. It hits close to home for them. Yeah, and it's like, I can't attest that, Davin, you are a wonderful human being. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for saying that. Yeah, I don't get on here and attack people or anything else like that. There's a lot of people. How much are those? All right, I'm gonna get this. See what I mean? $1.99. You get shit that's on sale. I don't ever get on here and attack people or say things that are like out of the whim of what I would naturally say or whatever, because I don't find anything like conducive about it, you know? But what I don't like is I don't like when people get on here and they just spew off at the mouth, just be spewing off at the mouth. And I think that's what Angela Harris did today. And I think it was kind of, I don't want to say exactly disgusting, but I just thought it was unneeded. And got on here, she said, don't donate to him, don't fall for him. Fall for what? Fall for what? Fall for what? Would you rather me get up here and lie to you guys? You got to excuse me, I'm looking at the shopping paper, but I'm talking to y'all. Would you rather me get on here and lie to you? I think that's what some people like to see and hear. They'd rather hear a lie than hear the grand artist truth. And the grand artist truth is there are some things within the culture right now that are screwed up. And I'm talking about Black and Latin culture. The way you interact with each other, I noticed from many of different elements. Hold on one second. I'm gonna see if this phone will sit right here so I can look through this paper while I'm talking to you guys. Let me see if I can get this to sit up here. I put this down. Voila, it worked. Okay, so now I can see you guys. I met Emmy Woman filmmaker here on YouTube. 2 people contacted him and tell him not to work with me, needless to say. You see what I mean? Like, so I'm not making this up. There are people out there on a daily basis that are on people's YouTube channels, and they're telling people, don't donate to them or whatever. And there's no real legitimate reason behind it other than you're jealous of the mechanisms that people have created for themselves, you know? Like, I busted my ass for this. So like I said, I got 1.3 million followers. And the people that I see come on my page, Angela Harris is Latina. You're Latina. Are you serious? You're a minority. And if you don't want to admit you're a minority, that's cool. But you're not fooling me with brown skin, brown eyes, greasy hair. You know what I mean? You're not fooling me. You's a no. Davin, for what I've seen, people take the truth for a lie, and the lie is the truth. I'm seeing that more so myself each day. I wanted to top on what OGO Patrice said. She said that she had somebody tap in with her as a filmmaker, and people told that filmmaker not to work with her. You see what I mean? So I'm not making this up. I'm not being far-fetched. I'm not telling you guys that, you know, turn against the culture or whatever. I just want you to highlight and see the bullshit that goes on within the culture and start asking yourself the question, is this right? Because I don't think it's right. Not only do I not think it's right, I think many of the people that partake in stuff like that, they are haters. They're not even just haters. They're people that are really, really discouraged in life. They're discouraged by their own particular lives, and they're not happy. Now, one of those people that came on my last night that I did, it was about 2 hours long, that person that came on there and they pointed out my age range, I said, that's someone that knows me. So that goes to show you more the mental instability of people on YouTube, via YouTube. Because a pure simple fact, if you knew my age, that means you know me personally, because I've never divulged my age online, not one time. Today, in fact, was the first time I did it. In fact, even on my birthday, if you guys remember specifically, I didn't even divulge how old I was that day. And I'm not in any way whatsoever. Oh, we ain't going for those. It's like $20. Even today, if you guys heard me before previously, this looks good right here. If you've heard me before previously, you will know for a fact that I've never, ever sat back and said anything derogatory or anything like that to intentionally attract anybody to think that I know you guys think I look crazy. I'm trying to look at the stuff that's on sale. I think I'm gonna go with the shrimp fried. I'm just looking for the one without rice. I hate rice. Not this type of rice. Like the rice that comes with these dinners sometimes, it's about disgusting. I guess I'll go with this one. You can't go wrong with this is Alfredo. And what is this one? Shrimp linguine, pasta, vegetables, and garlic sauce. And this one is what? Shrimp, pasta, vegetables, and creamy. I think it was a scampi. So getting one of these, it's like $5.99. You find these things like on sale or whatever. You go through here. I usually take my time when I'm in here. You walk through enough, you'll find enough shit on sale to make something out of it. You know what I mean? But I try to emphasize that because of the pure simple fact that people deterring people from going to certain people's channels, people deterring people from interacting with certain individuals or whatever the case may be. And I think it's just like it's sickening. Man. It's like this is the threshold now will be created here on YouTube, where it's actually people are running around and literally just being, I don't know, narcissistic, pantomiming. Like I don't know. The pantomiming is the thing that gets on my nerves too, because a lot of people get on here and they'll just repeat shit that other people have said. I don't do that, so maybe that's another thing too. I have original thought. I don't know. You guys help me. And make sure you hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. And Ned, if you're still here, I want to show you something. You see the price on this? Can you see that? I hope y'all guys can see the price on this. $6.56, right? This is lamb. The lamb is actually cheaper than the hamburger. I swear to God to you, the lamb is actually cheaper than the hamburger. So that's why I always go for lamb bobs anyway, because you can cook those up and they're easier to cook up. It's fucking amazing, the prices they use. And this is the cheapest grocery store we have here in our area, in my opinion, and one of the cleanest ones. I'd rather go to this store than the other one any day. I've probably been coming to this grocery store for probably, I don't know, say well over a year and a half or so, whatever. They had a couple of jerks in here a couple of times, but that's anywhere. But for the most part, people working here, they're good. They always got good, fresh product. That's why I keep coming back here. And the prices, you can't beat them. Like their sales compared to other sales at other stores, something is heard. You know what I mean? That's a fact. I ain't got nothing bad to say about ShopRite. Other than some of the jerks they've hired. But, you know, other than that, it's pretty good, decent. You know what I mean? Proud of people. Anyway, people that do that, and like I said once again, people that sit back and tell people, don't go to this person's channel, or don't donate to this person or whatever, they actually added to the hest. I'm going to walk past something, y'all pardon me. I know I sound like retarded right now, guys, because I got like 3 or 4 things going on trying to remember what I'm getting as I'm talking to you guys. But you'll find people all the time that will try to detour people from going to your page. That's exactly what I was looking for. They will detour people from going to your page, tell people don't fuck with you, whatever the case may be. It is what it is. This comes with the territory. So you can see, guys, these are $2.99. So I'm grabbing some of these right here. I mean, take you guys grocery shopping with me. Why the fuck not, right? Why the fuck not? I was just really bothered by that. Like, damn, you don't want me to eat, huh? That nigga can't get nothing to eat. Don't donate to no fabulous jewelry. I'm like, you don't even know me, lady. You never talked to me on the phone before. That's the thing that bothers me too. When you've never talked to me before and you're talking about this is how he is. How do you know? You don't know me. You know what I mean? And like, wouldn't that bother you? Like if somebody was like trying to call you out or whatever and didn't know you, and literally they're like, oh, that person's this way, that way. You don't even fucking know me, you know? And that's like the sick thing about it. Like, and this is like a position that I think personally, and I'm gonna stick to it, that I think they only have conceived for men of color, you know? There's never a question when a white man gets on TV and starts saying, or on YouTube, and says whatever the fuck he says, oh, he gotta be telling the truth, look at him. And this is the motherfucker that's lying to you the most. And tell me I'm lying. During the 4th of July, for the first time, ribs was the cheapest meat. You told me that too. You said ribs were cheaper than anything. I just got that's why I just grabbed it. I was like, this shit is $6.36. Now I'm looking for these Newman's pizzas. You know, we ain't here. You got to. This is how you have to do it now. You have to like literally take your time and walk through the grocery store one by one and be like, okay, I can fuck with that. I can fuck with this. I can fuck with that. I can fuck with this, you know? And it's sad, but that's the way it is right now, you know? That is the way it is right now. Okay, and they got something else. I think they got a margarita pizza for $3. I got one of these. I usually fix these anyway. These are $2.99. But yeah, man. This is the way you got to do shopping nowadays. So I think this ShopRite, let's see. Oh, this is real small. Yeah, this is flatbread. I don't like flatbread pizzas. Those things are fucking nasty. Even if you have like shit on, I get the Newman's pizza. The Newman's pizzas are better. You guys like Newman's pizza? Newman's is like a big brand here. What is this? Cheddar broccoli and shells. That looks good. I could eat some macaroni. These are $1.99, and these is pretty damn good. You put these in a microwave. Yeah, these are little though. I get 2 of them. But yeah, this is the thing you have to do here while you're grocery shopping. You have to literally go through everything like one by fucking one and look and be like, okay, well that's something I can grab. That's something I can grab. That's something, you know what I mean? Like it's like fucking ridiculous. But that's the prices they have nowadays, so what are you gonna do? What's everybody doing nowadays, man? Everybody cool? Make sure you hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Also, there's a PayPal link. I won't tongue tied and shit. There's a PayPal link in the description box for PayPal. There's a link in the description box for PayPal and also GoFundMe if you don't have Cash App. So you can just go from there and donate from there if you want to. It probably save you guys a lot of time or whatever, and you don't have to sign up for anything or any crap like that. And I'm gonna get 2 of these Newman's pizzas because, as you can see, these $4.99. They said they're $4.99. So you just gotta look like it's like when you come into the grocery store nowadays, it's like going on a scavenger hunt. Like seriously, it's like going on a fucking scavenger hunt. It's like, what can we find? And I gotta get yogurt. We got a little belly this winter. I worked off most of it, but we still got a couple pounds to go. I think we got like maybe 5 to 10 pounds where I'm comfortable, you know. Oh, got some cheese raviolis, $2.99. These real cheese raviolis though, because some of these original meatballs and what's the other ones? Oh, they got spaghetti. They've got spaghetti. Back to what I was saying though, because I don't want to get off cue here. I'm just appalled by these people that come on my channel and tell people don't donate and don't do this and the other or whatever. I'm just really bothered by that, you know. I think I'm gonna get this cheese ravioli. It's just like $2.99, you know. So when you're in the grocery store, dude, just walk around. That's the best thing I can tell you guys. Just walk the fuck around. Like sometimes I will spend like an hour in here just combing through where I'm gonna get. Like right now I got like 45 minutes before the store closes. Roughly, really, I need 45 minutes, like 30 minutes. So, you know, you just walk through and see what they got. Hope to try to make the best of it, you know. I don't know what a sweet and sour bowl is. That looks nasty. Some of this stuff that goes in the microwave, you gotta watch it because it's like, hold on, let me turn this around. Some of this stuff that goes in the microwave, you actually gotta watch it because this shit is not good for you. And it'll sit on your stomach for like 8 days. But you see the prices of some of these? Oh, these are good right here. These are $2.40. I had these before. Buffalo Caliber. Let's see if they got the one I had. I had one. Yeah, there it is, the Buddha Bowl. Sweet potatoes, cauliflower and rice. These are like health food things or whatever. But I eat these shits all the time. Like I'll eat them during the daytime or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So let's get like 4 of those. It's like $2.49 each. And I've got like an extra $20 left, so I can just throw that in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get the spicy Thai. I think the spicy Thai bowl is the only one that's got meat in. The rest of them just have vegetables in them, which is kind of cool. I just got 2 of them. The rest of them have like vegetables in them, but you know, zap one of those up during the day when you're hungry or whatever the case may be. Doing grown man shit here. Remember, guys, $sign STRINGERBELL80 on the Cash App. Also, you guys can hit up the link in the description box. There's also a PayPal link. There's also oh boy. Some people, they try to pretend a little too much that they're important. You look like the maid. Anyway, you ever see people like that? They look like the maid or the help. They walk through like they graduated from somewhere. It's like, it's really hilarious. Like, that takes a lot of effort to pretend like that. You know what I mean? I digress. Anyway, because that was just funny. I literally have the most fun in public a lot of times. It's like people watching and just seeing what people, how, do you guys do that? Like how far people will go to try to prove that they're somebody that they're not. It usually comes from a spot of discontent in their life, to be quite honest with you. It comes from a spot of being unhappy, and what they have to do is they have to elect that energy upon other people when they run into them, or any other way they wouldn't feel good about themselves. Do a donation drive from Friday till Sunday. Go live this weekend. If you're here now, $10+ to support Davin. He shows what he does with his donations. Thank you, sister. Yeah, we're gonna do it. This Friday through Sunday, we're gonna be doing the same thing. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from garnering donations. That's just not gonna happen. Like, I don't care what you think is going on or whatever. Like, that's just not what's going on over here. You know, we're gonna build this channel, and those same people are gonna come back, because they're doing it now. Those same people are gonna come back. Those same people are gonna come back, and what they're gonna do, excuse me, sir, thank you. Those same people are gonna come back, and what they're gonna do at that moment is they're gonna turn around and they're gonna be like, oh my God, right now is the time to donate, especially the black dudes. The black dudes are amongst the worst. Most of them, they kind of act like feminine. They have feminine traits with them. And so, like, you have to watch them the most, like, in my opinion. And then secondly, it'd probably be white guys and Spanish guys. But black dudes specifically, they act a lot like women. So, like, I try to stay away from like interacting with them as much as I can, because usually it's always going to end up in some bullshit. You know what I mean? Yo, what you looking at, nigga? What you do that for, nigga? You know, all this silly shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, take your project ass and go the fuck away from me. Like, I don't give a fuck about you. I really don't. People like that are a problem. You know what I mean? Like, not only in the poor white trash, there's their counterparts. People like that are problems. Blue vanilla flavored ice cream, chocolate ice cream with chocolate flavored crunches. Ew. Some of this ice cream they make is like fucking disgusting. You guys make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL80. And when I said that, and I said it the way I did, I meant it. Like, most of the time in my day-to-day life, most of the problems I incur are from black dudes and black women and Latin men and Latin women. I'm talking about all the dirty looks and all the fronting and stunting, look at my sneakers, all that shit, as you saw displayed here on my YouTube tonight. Usually those are the dudes that they just garner and they spend the whole day going around just trying to start problems. Like, that is their modus operandi. I have to start a problem with someone that looks exactly like me. If I don't feel fulfilled in myself. But they will never take the same energy and the same advancement towards somebody white. And that's why I tell you all the time, it's different. I grew up in the suburbs. I know the difference. And I know even when I interacted with you and I talk to you, where you've grown up at. You know what I mean? And it's definitely not the same way I've grown up, especially not on the shoreline. But that's how a lot of them carry themselves. This is how they were raised. A lot of them were raised with women. The women were neurotic, were allowed to be neurotic for the longest of times. And this is the product that you get as Endgame. A neurotic son or a neurotic daughter. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know. I don't have a special place in my heart for that. You know what I mean? I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel anything. I'm like, if you're running around and your whole day is comprised of starting problems with people that look exactly like you, there's something mentally wrong with you. Definitely mentally wrong with you. Especially you get a lot of these, I notice that you get a lot of guys nowadays, especially black and Latin guys, that want you to pay attention to them based off of nothing no more than what they're wearing or some shit like that. I'm like, dude, that is not the lifestyle that I'm into. Like, good luck to you, but I don't think you can get very far with that shit, you know? I really don't. But, and then another thing too, you always find that, I asked somebody this question before. I asked them, I said, what college did you go to? And they couldn't answer me. That is always the funniest thing out of all of it. I'm like, you're pretending, dude. You're pretending. I don't have to pretend. You know what I mean? Do you know the difference what I mean by that? Like, someone pretending versus someone that's actually natural. You don't. I can explain it to you. I can explain it to you very easily. A lot of people that I grew up on the shoreline with, they're very natural people. They don't like you, they'll tell you they don't like you. If they're cool with you, they'll tell you they're cool with you. Now, not all parts of Connecticut, I'm now finding out, are like that. Some parts of Connecticut, you know, you're supposed to hinder what you're talking about. I don't hinder what I'm talking about. I'll say fuck you in a minute, as you guys can see, and don't care. You know, like, why are you taking the initiative to be passive aggressive? And that question never gets brought up, you know, and it's sad, but it's the truth. Anyway, guys, make sure you hit up the Cash App or whatever, because Angela Harris said I'm over here using people. Shout out to Angela Harris. We don't mean her no harm. I hope she comes back. Hope she leaves some comments. You know, I'm just having fun, man. Live life and have fun. I am fucking single. I live by myself. I have no kids. I have no wife. What the fuck am I supposed to be doing? Like, and that's why I have a problem with, like, people try to reflect their life as if it's yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I don't have fucking 12 kids in my house, so I'm not a 35-year-old grandfather or 34-year-old grandmother. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you get people that literally get upset about that. And that's what, I believe her name was Davina. She was in here. I don't know if she's still here or not. If you're still here, hit a 1 or something in the chat room. But that's exactly what she was talking about. You have a lot of people that have like kids and stuff like that, and they had the kids very early. And they think because you didn't do the same thing and mimic the same behavior as they did, that you're like somehow less than them. I'm like, where the fuck do you get that from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where in the actual fuck did you come up with that? And it's sad. And most of it comes from the projects of the ghetto. I'm gonna be honest with you. The projects in the ghetto. And you can keep that project ghetto shit with you. That's my point. Nobody has time for that shit, man. How about you guys? Any of you guys ever incur that? Do you ever incur when you're like out in public or out moving around or something like that, and it's all of a sudden out of the blue some fucking weirdo that comes around, he's like hovering around you and shit and doing all this little fucking I don't know how to explain it, like this, like I call it tap dancing, like, what you doing, nigga? Don't you see these sneakers I got on? Don't you see the chick I'm with? It's fucking like childish. It's like literally so childish. And I'm like, you seem like an adult that never grew up, like a grown child. You know what I mean? And that's the only way I can assert it. Like, it's just like fucking sickening, really sickening. And the thing that's sickening about it, I know because you guys want me to talk about this shit. I've been wanting to talk about this. I think the thing that's sickening the most about it, they won't exert that same behavior with anyone else. Has anybody else ever noticed that? They only exert that type of attitude with Black and Latin people. It's like, why are you acting like a ghetto bunny when you're with us, but you want to adhere to everything when it comes to somebody white? Oh, I got it. You're trained. That's a boy or a gal. That's how I look at it. Just give me a second. I'll move that basket for you. There you go, bud. All right. But it's sad, man. It's really sad. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna finish rounding off here because I only got about 20 minutes or whatever. I was looking for some freaking oil or whatever, but I can't find it. But I got my salad dressing, so eat salad. Oh, they got Newman's on for $2.99. Hold up.
That's fine.
Yeah, got it. You're welcome. Balsamic vinegar. Yeah, that's the ones I got. I don't want oil ones. Oil's not good for you. You shouldn't eat a lot of oil. It sits on your stomach for a long fucking time. All right, guys, I gotta. Yeah, I get it. She said I get into combat mode. All right, I'm gonna stay on here with you guys. Shit, y'all won't let me go. I'm just still kind of upset by that girl that came on my page and told people not to donate to me. I'm like, you bitch. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what did I do to you? And like I said, just a couple of days ago, I can remember speaking to that woman. I can remember that. And I'm like, what are you mad about? You never donated to me. Dude, that's more oil. I'm like, what are you upset about? You never donated to me. You know what I mean? So why would you go out of your way and tell other people, don't donate to my Cash App? Like, it's just like fucking sick, man. You know what I mean, guys? Like, that's just really fucking like morbid sick. So that's why, like, when it comes to people like that, I really don't have too much contention for them. I really don't have too much to say to them as far as like feeling any type of empathy or anything else. You know what I mean? Like, fuck them. I think she's an asshole for that, bro. Don't donate to him, girl. I'm like, really? This is what we doing now in the culture, huh? This is what we doing now. We telling people, don't donate to certain people. What kind of silly shit is that, you know? It's like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's pure sad. I just seen something on sale that I think I didn't see earlier. I'm trying to check this out. Let's see what they got here. Mozzarella logs. What is a mozzarella log? Okay, that looks disgusting. I had never seen a mozzarella log before, but I just finally seen one. You know, so, and it looked disgusting. Anyway, if y'all don't understand what I meant and what I was saying about a lot of black guys and Spanish guys, a lot of black guys and Spanish guys nowadays, they're really a dread to be around. Like, really, like, a lot of them are either talking about some prison shit or some wannabe tough guy shit, or it's just like, it gets fucking boring. I don't even like, to be quite honest with you, a lot of times I don't even like conversating with a lot of black and Spanish dudes, because I know as soon as they start out the conversation, the first thing they want to go into is when they were in prison. Then the second thing leads into how tough they are. Hey, I had an old dude, he was about 60 years old, 70 years old, damn, they probably headed to. And he was trying to explain to me why he was so tough, and then I know who he was. I said, sir, I don't give a fuck who you are. If acknowledge one thing from the beginning. If I start calling you sir, I'm really saying fuck you. You know what I mean? That's really what I'm saying a lot of times. But it depends on the person I'm talking to too. But this is just a pure asshole. And I was just like, wow, that's the way we getting down nowadays, huh? That's the way we getting down. That's why I say a lot of times, you guys are sitting here talking about the culture and all this shit or whatever. I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in it at all. In fact, not only do I not believe in it, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think that you need to start furthering your premise and start having something else to emphatically speak about outside of saying you did things for the culture or basis for the culture, whatever. No, you don't. No, you don't. And as you can see, if that young lady that came on my post earlier, she was for the culture, that conversation wouldn't have ended like that. I would think. Guys, I think this is all I'm gonna get. I think that's about $70 right there. Believe it or not, that a little bit of shit. About $70. Isn't that crazy? That goes to show you can't even come to the grocery store anymore and find like proper stuff to buy anymore without there being like a fucking huge bill at the top of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Anyway, I think I'm gonna give me one more bag of salad. That should even everything out. Get one bag of salad. You can't go wrong with salad. Salad goes with everything. You know what I mean? Like, you have a pizza, salad. Yeah. Okay, so I got 30. Please bring your finance direction to the reception account. They have to help. No shopping at ShopRite. Give me 1 second, guys, because I'm going to have to get off again in a second. Because I got to jump in line, and I like paying attention when I'm jumping in line. I'll hop back off, whatever. Show you guys later what I spent and all that. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty good with numbers. I'm pretty good with spending money. I've always been good with money. That's one thing my mother taught me well, was how to maximize money. And where to put it. What is this? Sweet crunch. But now, what I was saying though is, a lot of the times I get problems in my day-to-day life. It comes from Black and Latin people for some reason. I don't get it because I don't hate them, don't dislike them. But evidently, I'm starting to learn that they don't care for me too much, and I started thwarting my attitudes towards how I interact with Black and Latin people. I gotta be quite honest with you. I find some of them to be like narcissistic, boring, wannabe tough guys, jerks. I find some of them to be, most of the time, uneducated. That's the one thing I always find. Uneducated. Like, they have no prior collegiate experience whatsoever, or whatever the case may be. So they try to substitute being slick versus being intelligent. Being slick is very easy. Anybody can be slick. Are you intelligent? That's another question. And what you'll find a lot of times is a lot of these guys, they're not intelligent at all. They're just slick, you know, lucked out, shit like that. And I just don't have room for people like that. Not in my life. I'm saying you have the right to be whoever the hell you want to in your life, but I'm just saying in my life, I'm not really one that's a fan of that. Is that clear to say? I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm gonna give me a macaroni salad. These macaroni salads are $2.99. Actually, $2.79. Isn't that beautiful? Let me show you. See? Let me get one of these. It's $2.79. I don't know if I want to get this a potato salad though. I think I'll just get this. I'll try one out because I might not like it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I'm stuck with two of them. You know what I mean? That sucks. You ever did that? Bought some shit at the grocery store and you think, oh, that's going to be great. Then you get it home and it's like, this tastes disgusting. That shit happens all the time. Davin, don't worry about her. She might have had something personal going on. I've seen her in the comments before, and it was very different. Yeah, that's what I said. It was way different when she was on here. Like, she was so nice. She was so considerate when she was on here before. And then tonight, she just turned into a different person. I was like, what is that about? Like, it's scary. It really is. It's scary. But what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? So I came to the conclusion, just don't give a shit about it. Because if you end up giving a shit about it, and you end up caring about it, you're giving power to somebody It doesn't deserve any power. You're giving power to somebody that's like, I don't know what she does for a living for work. I don't know what her background history for work is. And I doubt very seriously it's equated to mine. So why would I give a shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, why would I give a shit? It was just a point in the gumption of, you're now interrupting the way I make money because you feel like you can do so. And that's the problem I have. I'm like, where the fuck do you get that mentality from? Like, where does that come from? You know? And that's the question that needs to be answered. I'm pondering on right there, because I spend a lot of time on my channel advocating for women. I spend a entire time on my channel, none of y'all know, advocating for women. And most of the time when you turn on my channel, somebody's attacking me, it's a woman. Like, this shit doesn't make sense. You know? Like, I don't know. It just does not make sense to me. And I'm lost. Every time it happens, I'm lost by it, because I'm like, I just spent yesterday advocating for women. Like, I spent an entire time, which that post at this point, you're gonna have to back up, thanks. That post at this point still hasn't got as many views as it should got on it. And that upset me even more, because I'm like, why didn't this post get more views on it if you guys are claiming that everything that you're doing is for women? Everything that you're advocating for is for women. And then when I put something up for women, you barely even interact with the post, you know? That shit's scary. You barely interact with the post, you know? And I'm like, I think that shit got like 60 hits on it or something. I put up a video about Northwest, and I got like 12,000 views within an hour. You know, it's like, the shit's weird to me, man. But the attention span of a lot of people is, I don't know, for the best part, for me speaking, I think it's like, I don't know. It's just troubling, you know? It's like real troubling, dude. But I mean, it's just real troubling, you know? And like the attitudes and the, you know, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Maybe that's why I don't have a girlfriend. Maybe that's why I ain't got no kids. I don't know. Am I a jerk? Like, I don't know. But one thing I will say is, you're not going to come on my page and talk to me how the fuck you want to it. And more importantly, you're not going to discourage people from donating to me just because you feel the need to do so. That shit's bullshit. I'm never going to fall for that. I'm never going to rock out with that. I'm never going to accept that. I'm never going to act like that's normal. I'm never going to give an excuse for it. It's not. And the way that woman acted on my channel tonight, that shows she had some insidious means, you know? And I'm glad that you guys came in and you said something about it and you pointed it out. I definitely would have if you wouldn't have. But I was bothered by that. I was very bothered by that, because I've had other people do that all during the week, all the time. And you see where my goofy ass is at, right? The grocery store. So it's quite funny when you get detractors like that, people in the comment section that want to encourage people to not incentivize someone else based on the fact of how they feel solely alone. I find that to be like the most despicable people. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That was despicable behavior. And I'm not going to excuse that. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, well, maybe she's having a bad night. Like Annette said, fuck her bad night. Your bad night doesn't entail you coming to my channel and telling people, don't donate to me. No, bitch, you did that intentionally. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, don't pay attention to his bullshit. Bitch, what are you talking about? Like, that shit made me mad. That's why I said, like, people, I get attacked by black and Latin women. I don't get attacked by whites. I get attacked by blacks and Latins, B, all the time. All the time. For saying what? Real shit? Y'all say keep it real, but y'all want to keep it fake. You know what I'm saying? I'm confused, beloved. You know what I'm saying? Y'all screaming keep it real, but y'all keeping it fake as fuck. It's like y'all almost incentivized to be fake as fuck, because you know you go garner donations and shit from doing that. And I'm like, that's bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what part of the game are you at where you're sitting around and you're like doing shit like that, bro? Like, I don't know. Like I said, maybe that's why, you know, I ain't married or whatever the case may be, or somebody try to come in and say, that's why you ain't married, you ain't got no kid. Well, you know what? I live by my fucking self too. How about that? Fucking shitty people, man. Anyway, guys, make sure you hit up the Cash App $STRINGERBELL 80. Also, make sure you hit the PayPal link. It's also in the description box, and also GoFundMe if you do not have, if you do not have cash. I got tongue tied, sorry. If you do not have Cash App, you can hit that up. I very encourage all of you to do so. Support the channel. We are at 1.3 million views in 30 days for the month. I'm very proud of it. I'm gonna keep boosting that because this is the first time I did 1.3. I've done like 300,000, 400,000 a month. It's the first time I've done 1.3 million views in a month. So fuck that. I'm celebrating. I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from here. I'm very excited about that. I think that's amazing. You know what I mean? To have that many people actually follow me in that small amount of time. I just think that's amazing. I'm trying to see something. They got these Jamaican patties, but how much are these? $5.49? I guess so. They got this big thing of Jamaican big patties from Golden Crust for $5.49. I think they are. Let's find out. Sometimes they'll have the things misquoted or whatever, and that actually won't be the price of. But I like Golden Crust. I go to Golden Crust to this day whenever I'm down in New York. Give me a second, y'all. I'm flipping stuff around trying to look for the $13.49. See what I mean? That's $5.49. This is actually $13.49. This is actually more expensive than it's supposed to be. I don't need 10 beef patties. They got a smaller box. I think the smaller box is the one that's $5.49. But it looks like they only have cheese in the smaller box. Yep. And I do not. Who wants a cheese Jamaican patty? Anybody like a cheese Jamaican patty? That sounds nasty, right? Yeah, they only got the 10 packs, so that sucks. Yeah, 10 packs. Family pack of fucking beef patties. Uh-oh. Who's this brand though? Caribbean Food Delights. These are $3.49. You ever heard of these guys? Okay, they call it a turnover. That's when you know it's a fake Jamaican patty, when they call it a turnover. Remove frozen packet from the box, tear open on dotted line, microwave on heat, microwave for 2 minutes. It's $3. We'll try it out. I don't know. Looks kind of suspect. They ain't like the Golden Crust. The Golden Crust ones, they're a little bit better. But they only have, that sucks. They only have the chicken ones. Nobody likes chicken. Anybody like a chicken beef patty? I mean, a chicken turnover, whatever you want to call it. That shit just sounds nasty, right? I don't know. Kind of unnatural. Let's put it that way. It's kind of unnatural. And I think the last thing I'm going to get is some chips or something like that. And I think I'm out of here. I think I'm done, guys. Ain't too much other than here to grab up. But yeah, man, it's been a day. So listen, I'm going to tell you guys one more time. Make sure you're encouraged to donate to the Cash App right there. $STRINGERBELL80. Also, there's a PayPal link in the description box and also a GoFundMe link in the description box. You guys can hit both of those up. That's about the thing I need is peanut butter. You guys can make sure you hit those up. Donate, support the channel, etc., etc. Is this cream? Yep. And hopefully we're going to make it through. Get by. Trust me on that one. And I'm not by any means going to show fortitude on backing out of my channel or what I believe in my channel. I don't think anybody should be able to come in, especially a female, and tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing with your male, basically dominated page and tell me how I should say it or whatever. I had a woman come on yesterday and said I should call women bitches and all this, that, and that. She was going to donate $500. You weren't going to donate $500. Stop lying. Stop lying. You was going to donate $500 to me until I got to a certain point in my conversation. You felt like you didn't like it, but you liked everything previous to that. Come on now. Come on now. You don't want to, you don't have to, you know. I don't force anybody to do so. You know, I just tell them, hey, go to the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. It's up to your discretion. I don't, you know, it's not like I have a gun and I'm like, you're going to donate, and if you don't, I'm going to lock you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that is just not the case. So I hate when people try to frame it like that. People try to exemplify it like it's something other than what it is when it's not. All right, my friend, have to get ready for work. Get home safely. Will do. And I will talk to you soon enough. And make sure you hit up, Jesus Christ, I was going to say, I'm about to hop off here too. So guys, make sure you hit up $STRINGERBELL80. Also, there's a PayPal link in the description box. And also there's a GoFundMe link in the description box. Make sure you hit both of those up. Support both of those. And guys, I appreciate it. more than you ever know. Other than that, make sure you also hit that like button and share this post, and I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Thanks, guys.